Hi, my name is Scott Moore. I'm coming to you today from Moore Engineering Services. Moore Engineering is a firm that's been around for about 14 years and continues to provide forensic engineering services, construction testing services, and walkway safety auditing services. We use our unique skills and talents to help people in the construction industry, facility management industry, and in the legal world deal with unique and difficult problems. Some of those problems may be from slippery floors, difficult to access areas like in drone inspections, and also in difficult to assess problems with concrete installations and flooring installations. I started Moore Engineering Services in 2010 to assist property owners in assessing and dealing with slip and fall risk. America is unique in that we tend to be a more litigious society than most, and as a result I found that our place was very naturally in litigation. And since then our firm has provided litigation services to attorneys on plaintiff and defense cases relative to slips, trips, and falls. We also continue to provide walkway safety auditing services, which initially was our goal in starting the business, seeing a significant amount of risk assessment that is not being done or wasn't being done at the time, and trying to fill that need in the industry with services like slip resistance testing and walkway safety auditing. So walkway safety auditing is not really a common term in the industry, but what it refers to is when a technician goes into a facility and assesses specifically the walkway slip, trip, and fall risks. It could be by looking at cleaning materials, it could be by looking at transitions and tile lippage, and it primarily centers around slip resistance testing of floors. But we hold paramount the principle of when you're making flooring decisions or decisions relative to avoiding slips, trips, and falls, coefficient of friction testing is just not the only thing you have to consider. When I started Moore Engineering, the goal was to help property owners maintain their properties safer. And it wasn't more than a few weeks I was providing these services before an attorney contacted me, and I found that I enjoy litigation work, and also there is a need for expert witnesses in my area. And so for the last 13 years, I've been providing services to plaintiff and defense attorneys on slips, trips, and falls throughout the Northeast and through the country. When selecting an expert, over my 13 years doing this, I've found that there are a couple of very basic principles that are important to consider. One of those is actual industry experience. One of the things that we're proud of at Moore Engineering is that all of our staff that work as expert witnesses regularly practice in their field actively. So we're not just experts, we're experts in litigation, and we're also experts in the field of construction or whatever that relative field is. And we find this to be paramount in both validating the expertise of an expert witness, but also in staying at the cutting edge. I am also involved, as are other staff, in standards committees and working with industry to develop new standards and practices and codify existing practices to help increase the general quality of services provided throughout the industry. It's important when hiring anyone to do anything that they are qualified to do it. In forensics, obviously having expertise in a specific area, the area you're providing an opinion in, is important. But also in construction and risk assessments, it's paramount to make sure that the expert that you're hiring has the requisite training, qualifications, and experience to be able to provide value through their services. So engineers tend to be very objective people. Usually they're designers, and that design requires a lot of knowledge about the topic and a lot of application of that knowledge in science and standard practice to be able to build something. Litigation work, while it entails that detail and engineering knowledge, also requires a personality. It requires that you are able to go into a courtroom and speak in front of a jury confidently and be able to convince a jury that your correct. And of course, not by using convincing language, but by being personable enough to be believable. This is an area that I have found to be both enjoyable, but also almost another discipline of engineering. And I think that as people ask me what an expert witness does, I point out that expert witnesses can exist in pretty much any industry that would require testimony in front of a jury or some governing body that may need that expertise to make a decision, which is really what the jury is doing. They're making a decision. As a company, we started out small, as many do, and we've now grown into a number of employees, and including more recently, we have a few experts on staff other than myself, specifically Dan Schroeder. Dan has 20 years experience in retail management and has been a great asset to the company and our clients, providing litigation support services on retail engagements. So when someone slips or trips or falls in a retail environment, a grocery store, a box store, or when there's a product-related case or failure, product falling off of a shelf, pretty much anything that would be relative to some kind of litigation in a retail setting. We also have our lead technician, Mike Rain, is qualified to do moisture testing of flooring. He's also a certified installing inspector and now provides a lot of oversight to installation of flooring. Mike is available along with other staff to look at failures in adhered flooring and wood flooring, and both through testing and potentially testimony should the engagement go unresolved. We also provide those services prior to litigation, and it's our hope that those services are utilized to avoid the need for litigation. I hope this has been informative and you have an idea of what Moore Engineering does, what I do, and what our employees do here. We're going to be providing some more videos in the coming weeks, and if you have any recommendations of what you'd like to hear about, certainly check out our blog for a couple of topics we've written on, and also submit a request to our website, and we'd be happy to discuss something. We're hoping also to have some interviews with other industry experts as well in the coming weeks. Thank you. So now that you've seen the first video, and it's a little stiff, I'm hoping that we can get some sarcasm and a little bit of wit into the next couple of videos. I'm also hoping that we can have a little bit of banter. So look forward to that in the next couple of videos. We'll do our best.